We took a trip to Banff and Jasper National Parks in Canada, where we got beautiful mountain views, hiked through enchanting forests, explored pristine lakes, walked high above a canyon, and even walked out on a glacier. Here are the places we visited on our summer trip. Banff and Jasper are large national parks in Canada. We flew into the city of Calgary and drove from there towards Banff. On the way, we stopped by Canmore, where there's a little-known trail called Grassi Lakes. It's a 2-mile loop trail, and we started off on a gradual incline through the forest. We got to the top with some great views. From there, we saw one of the Grassi lakes. Next to it is another small lake. We then made our way down.
Can you go in front of them? We have a waterfall, guys.
There were several steep switchbacks, but with great views of the valley and the waterfall. We continued up from Canmore into Banff National Park and stopped by Lake Minnewanka. We had an inflatable kayak that we took out on the lake to explore. From there, we headed into the town of Banff. We rode on the Banff Gondola, which takes you on a long, scenic ride up to the top of a mountain. Was that fun, guys? There are multiple viewing decks, which allowed us to see the mountains all around Banff. There were chairs to relax in, and a small cafe that served food. There was a boardwalk path to a nearby peak. We took a short walk on it. Then we headed back and took the gondola back down the mountain. Northwest from the town of Banff is Johnston Canyon. It's a 3.5-mile round-trip hike to 2 waterfalls. The entire path is paved. The trail follows a river through a canyon. One part of the trail is along a cliffside overhanging the canyon.
It's nice for your video.
The path then goes down by the river and through the canyon. A path splits off going to the lower falls. We could walk through a tunnel and get an up-close view of the waterfall. We then continued back on the main trail. The path goes through another narrow part of the canyon and hangs over the river. We reached another split in the trail and headed towards the upper falls. It ends with the viewing spot of the tall waterfall. We continued on to Lake Louise. There are multiple viewing spots on the lake. We walked along the edge to explore. The lake gets its beautiful turquoise color from glacial water that flows over minerals into the lake. We found some spots to sit and enjoy the picturesque view. There were a few canoes out on the lake, and we knew we had to get out there ourselves. So we rented a canoe and paddled around the lake. Across the highway from Lake Louise is the Lake Louise Summer Gondola. We could choose to ride an enclosed gondola or in an open ski lift. As we rode up to the top of the mountain, we got great scenic views all around. We even saw a grizzly bear wandering around below. When we got to the top, we took a short path to a viewing deck. We could see Lake Louise across the valley. Then we got back on the gondola and headed down, enjoying those beautiful views again. From Lake Louise, we took a detour west to the Golden Skybridge. It was a long but scenic drive along the way. Golden Skybridge is an adventure park. One of its main features are long suspended bridges over a canyon. The bridge is 492 feet across and hangs 426 feet above the canyon. And it certainly feels really high. We walked slowly across as the bridge rocks slightly from the wind. We powered through and made it to the other side. In this area, there was a high ropes obstacle course, zip lines across the canyon, and a roller coaster through the forest. We then had to cross back over on another suspension bridge. The bridge is only slightly shorter, but it did rock a little bit more. We made it back across. Near the entrance is a big playground that our kids loved. From Golden, we went back through Lake Louise and continued north into Jasper National Park to the Columbia Icefield Skywalk. It's also a long drive, but very scenic. You can see the Athabasca Glacier from the side of the road, but the Columbia Icefield Skywalk tour lets you walk on it. We rode on an ice explorer up to the glacier. We got out and were able to walk around. There are streams of water flowing from the melting glacier. We walked to where the water was flowing from. The water is so pure, you can drink it. From there, we went to the Skywalk, which is an observation deck hanging over a canyon. It's not publicly accessible and can only be reached through the tour. The Skywalk has a glass floor, letting us look down at the canyon. We continued north to Sunwapta Falls, a waterfall right off the highway. It was a short walk to the waterfall. We crossed over some bridges and could see it from different angles. The bridges led to the other side of the waterfall. From there, we drove up through Jasper National Park to Maligne Lake. Along the way, we saw large areas of dead trees from wildfires of previous years. We also saw a few elk right off the side of the road. There are several hiking trails around Maligne Lake, so we went out on a short walk through the trees and along the water. There are boat tours that take you out onto the lake, so we scheduled a ride on one. The views from the boat were incredible. we arrived at a place called Spirit Island, where we could take a short walk and enjoy the beautiful scenery. Then we headed back on the boat. Banff and Jasper National Parks are amazing places to explore. They're huge, and many of the main attractions are far apart, so there's a lot of driving. But the routes are incredibly scenic, and our family loved all the adventures.